The recent report by Time magazine serves not merely as a snapshot of a popular application, but as a profound testament to a pivotal moment in human technological history. The revelation that OpenAI's ChatGPT now boasts over 800 million weekly active users is a statistic that resonates far beyond the confines of the tech industry. It represents the moment when artificial intelligence, particularly in the form of large language models (LLM), transitioned decisively from a speculative future, a tool for researchers and early adopters, into a ubiquitous, global utility. This figure, approximating 10% of the global population, engaging with a single AI service weekly, underscores a societal shift of monumental scale. ChatGPT, once celebrated as the fastest-growing consumer application in history, has now cemented its role as a fundamental infrastructure of daily digital life, rivaling and often integrating with the functions of search engines, office suites, and communication platforms. This document expands upon the core facts presented in the Time report, delving into the multifaceted dimensions of this reality. We will explore not just the what and the how many, but the why, the how, and the so what. Our analysis will span approximately 1/6 words, dissecting the user behavior patterns, the technological evolution that enabled this growth, the broader implications for industries and the nature of work, the ethical and societal challenges it precipitates, and the potential future trajectories of this transformative technology. The journey of ChatGPT from a novel chatbot to a weekly companion for hundreds of millions is a story of unprecedented innovation, rapid adoption, and deep integration into the human experience. Section 1. Deconstructing the user base, the who and the why of 800 million. The sheer volume of 800 million weekly users is staggering, but to understand its significance, we must deconstruct this monolithic number into comprehensible segments and motivations. 1.1 Demographic and geographic penetration. While specific demographic breakdowns are closely held by external surveys and data analytics suggest a penetration that is global yet uneven. Early adoption was heavily skewed towards North America, Europe, and parts of Asia, notably India and Japan. Among users who were technologically proficient, often within education, tech, and creative sectors. However, the proliferation of mobile apps, localized interfaces, and multilingual support, ChatGPT now functions in dozens of languages, with varying proficiency, has driven rapid growth in South America, Southeast Asia, and Africa. The user base is diversifying from primarily English-speaking professionals to include students, small business owners, nonprofit workers, and curious individuals worldwide seeking to bypass language or knowledge barriers. The 10% of humanity figure is not evenly distributed but represents a thickening global mesh of AI interaction. 1.2. The spectrum of user personas. Users do not approach ChatGPT with a single intent. We can identify several broad, often overlapping, personas. The productivity seeker. This is likely the largest cohort, encompassing professionals using ChatGPT for writing, editing, brainstorming, coding, data analyses, and presentation drafting. It includes everyone from marketers crafting ad copy to software engineers debugging code, from lawyers summarizing case law to executives preparing reports. The learner and educator. Students from middle school to postgraduate levels use it as a tutoring aid for explaining complex concepts, generating practice questions, or structuring essays. Educators use it to develop lesson plans, create assessments, and find new ways to explain material. The creative collaborator. Writers, poets, screenwriters, and game developers use it as a brainstorming partner, a source of inspiration, a tool for overcoming writer's block, or even to draft initial versions of dialogue and plot points. Section 2. The engine of growth, technological evolution, and strategic enablers. Tejonito, 800 million users, was not accidental. It was propelled by a series of deliberate technological leaps and strategic product decisions. 2.1. From fast answers to reasoning engines. The core model. Nick Turley's comment about ChatGPT becoming a model that can do real work is the critical pivot. Early versions were impressive for fluent text generation, but were prone to hallucinations, fabricating information, and struggled with complex logic. The evolution involved architectural advances, moving from the original GPT 3.5 architecture to GPT-4 and its subsequent iterations like GPT-4 Turbo brought massive improvements in reasoning, accuracy, and context window-sized. The amount of text it can consider at once, now exceeding 128,000 tokens in some versions. Reinforcement learning from human feedback, or LHF. This training methodology, where human trainers rank model outputs, was crucial for aligning ChatGPT's responses with human intent, making them more helpful, harmless, and honest. Chain of thought and reasoning frameworks. Engineers prompted the model internally to think step by step, leading to more accurate outcomes on mathematical, logical, and planning tasks. This simulated reasoning is what allows it to tackle the practical guidance use cases effectively. Multimodality, integrating vision capabilities, processing images as input, and voice conversation natural. Real-time spoken dialogue transformed ChatGPT from a text box into a more holistic sensory assistant, significantly broadening its appeal and utility. To point to the platform play, integrations, and the central hub vision. ChatGPT's success is as much about platform strategy as it is about raw AI power. The decision to allow it to become a central hub is key. API, an ecosystem. By releasing a powerful API, OpenAI enabled tens of thousands of developers to build ChatGPT into their own applications, from customer service bots to creative tools, silently embedding its capabilities into countless other services. Plugin and GPT Store. The now evolving plugin system and the GPT Store allowed for specialized functions, booking flights, searching scholarly databases, designing diagrams. This turned ChatGPT into an operating system of sorts, where users could customize their assistant with specific skills. Native tool integration. The ability to perform web searches, analyze uploaded files, PDFs, Word docs, spreadsheets, presentations, images, and potentially connect to calendars and email as hinted creates a closed loop where users can bring their work directly to the AI, get it processed, and export the results, all within one environment. 2.3 Accessibility and monetization. Freemium models and global reach. The careful balance between free access and premium subscriptions, ChatGPT Plus, Team, and Enterprise, has been instrumental, lowering the barrier to entry. A robust free tier ensures anyone with an internet connection can experience the core technology, driving network effects and viral adoption. Value-driven premium tiers, paid subscriptions offer priority access during high demand, access to the most powerful models, advanced tools like Dolly image generation, and higher usage limits, capturing revenue from power users and professionals whose productivity is measurably enhanced. Enterprise solutions. ChatGPT Team and Enterprise address critical concerns for businesses. Data privacy models not trained on enterprise data, administrative controls, and tailored solutions, making inroads into the corporate world. Section 3. The ripple effect transformations across industries and society. The permeation of a tool this powerful into the weekly routines of hundreds of millions is catalyzing profound changes. 3.1 The future of work. Augmentation. Not replacement for now. The dominant narrative among economists and technologists is one of augmentation. ChatGPT is becoming the ultimate force multiplier for knowledge work. Democratization of expertise. It lowers the barrier to entry for complex tasks. A small business owner with no marketing background can craft competent campaigns. A student can get high-quality tutoring 24/7. The shift in skill valuation. Prompt engineering. The skill of effectively communicating with AIs, becoming a critical literacy. Skills like critical thinking, verification of AI output, AI hygiene, creative direction, and ethical judgment are rising in value, while routine drafting, basic coding, and simple data processing are being automated. Productivity paradox and job redefinition. While studies show significant productivity boosts, for example, coders completing tasks 55% faster with AI, this does not automatically mean job loss. It often leads to job redefinition. A copywriter may spend less time drafting and more time on strategy and brand voice curation. A lawyer may spend less time researching precedents and more time on client counseling and complex argumentation. 3.2 Impact on specific sectors. Education. Facing a crisis of adaptation, schools and universities are grappling with plagiarism concerns while also exploring transformative tools for learning, automated grading, and simulating historical debates or scientific dialogues. Healthcare, used for drafting patient communications, summarizing medical records, assisting with literature reviews for research, and providing preliminary informational support with careful disclaimers. Software development, integrated into ID's integrated development environments like GitHub, it is fundamentally altering the developer workflow, handling boilerplate code, generating tests, and explaining legacy creative industries. A source of tension and tooling. Writers, artists, and musicians use it for inspiration and overcoming blocks, while the industry wrestles with copyright, originality, and the future of human creative expression. 3.3. The redefinition of search and information access. The 21% use case for information retrieval is a direct challenge to the keyword-based search engine model. Conversational, context-aware. Synthesized answers are a superior experience for many queries. This has triggered an AI arms race among tech giants Google with Gemini, Microsoft with Copilot, Perplexity AI, etc., all racing to build the dominant conversational AI interface. The very concept of searching is evolving into asking. Section 4. The inevitable challenges. Ethical, societal, and existential quandaries. This breakneck growth occurs amidst a minefield of unresolved issues. 4.1 Hallucinations and the trust deficit. Despite improvements, LLMs still generate plausible falsehoods. For a tool used by millions for information, retrieval, and guidance, this poses serious risks from medical misinformation to legal inaccuracies. Building robust verification mechanisms and user education on trust but verify principles is paramount. 4.2 Bias and fairness. These models are trained on vast swaths of human-generated text from the internet, inheriting and often amplifying societal biases related to race, gender, religion, and culture. Mitigating this is an ongoing, complex technical and ethical challenge with real-world consequences for users who may receive biased advice or content. 4.3 Privacy and data security. User conversations, especially those involving sensitive personal, corporate, or proprietary information, raise huge privacy concerns. While OpenAI has implemented policies like opting out of model training for paid users, the fundamental tension between model improvement through data and user privacy remains. The specter of data breaches involving intimate AI conversations is a significant risk. 4.4 Economic displacement and the digital divide. While augmentation is the current trend, the potential for medium-term job displacement in roles centered around content generation, basic analysis, and customer support is real. Furthermore, the benefits of this AI tool are not distributed equally. A digital intelligence divide could emerge between those with the skills and access to leverage AI and those without, exacerbating existing inequalities. 4.5 Environmental cost. Training and running these massive models requires enormous computational resources, translating to a substantial carbon footprint. As user numbers grow into the billions, the industry faces increasing pressure to develop more energy-efficient hardware and algorithms. Section 5. The road ahead. Predictions and possibilities for the next phase. Where does this go from 800 million weekly users? Several trajectories seem probable. 5.1. Towards the first billion daily platform. The logical next milestone is 1 billion daily active users. This will likely be achieved through deeper mobile integration as a default assistant on phones. Even more seamless integration into workplace software. Microsoft 365, Google Workspace, and the development of capabilities where ChatGPT can not only suggest, but execute multi-step tasks autonomously. For example, plan and book a full vacation for my family. 5.2 The rise of specialized and personal agents. The generic ChatGPT will likely splinter into a constellation of specialized agency coding expert, a health and wellness coach, a personal finance advisor, a creative writing Mizol, built on the same core technology but fine-tuned for specific domains. Furthermore, These agents will become increasingly personalized, learning from a user's long-term history, preferences, and goals to act as a true digital alter ego. 5.3 The hardware frontier. AI native devices. The success of ChatGPT is pushing hardware innovation. We are seeing the emergence of AI pin-style devices and smartphones designed from the ground up for ambient, voice-first interaction with AI. ChatGPT and its successors will move from being an app you open to a persistent, context-aware layer over the physical and digital world. 5.4 Regulatory and geopolitical scrutiny. As a tool of such scale and influence, ChatGPT and its competitors will face intense regulatory scrutiny worldwide. Issues of copyright, training data, political manipulation, generating disinformation, and national security control over advanced AI will lead to a complex patchwork of global regulations, potentially fragmenting the AI landscape. Conclusion: the center of gravity in cyberspace. The Time magazine report, in highlighting the 800 million user milestone, has pinpointed the new center of gravity in the digital universe. ChatGPT is no longer just an application. It is a cultural and technological paradigm. It represents the mainstreaming of human-machine collaboration at a conversational level. Its weekly user base is a metric of how deeply intelligence, once the sole province of biological minds, is now being externalized, commoditized, and made interactive. The challenges it presents, economic and existential, are as large as its user count. Navigating this new reality will require not just technological fixes, but broad societal dialogue, thoughtful regulation, and a renewed commitment to ensuring that this powerful tool augments humanity's best qualities rather than amplifying its worst. The story of ChatGPT's user growth is, fundamentally, the opening chapter in the story of how humanity learns to live with, and ultimately be shaped by, artificial general intelligence. The 800 million are not just users. They are the first generation of explorers on this uncharted frontier.